Hello everyone. In this session we are going to discuss about number object in JavaScript. The number object in JavaScript will allows us to work with numerical values. Generally, how we will define the numbers in JavaScript by using var keyword, where some x equal to some value we can assign. In other programming languages, if I want to define a number, so we have to mention the data type of it, whether it is an integer or float. But in our JavaScript, whatever it may be, everything is going to be number. A number with decimals, without decimals, whatever it may be, that is going to be treated as a number. We don't have any separate concept called floating point values and integer values. Everything will be treated as a number in JavaScript. And moreover, the numbers are declared in two ways, by using literal and by using number constructor. Let us see how can we declare the numbers here. Here generally we will take a variable var x equal to 100. This is a number, and we no need to take any data type here. You can take one more variable var f equal to 10.5, whatever it may be. So both are number data type in our JavaScript. We don't have integer, we don't have float. Everything will be treated as a number in JavaScript. So, and this is one way of creating a number, and we can create a number in another way also. For example, var x equal to new, by creating a constructor. This is nothing but number constructor, number object. So we can define a number like this also. You can take something called 1 2 3. Actually, if you can keep anything double quote, what it is a string, or else you can take something like 1 2 3. That's also fine. So this is a way of defining a number, and this is also a way of defining a number. But in real time, it is always recommended to go with a literal syntax, literal, and it is not recommended to go with object creation. For one value, object creation is not required. So if you want to take 10-15 variables, you have to create 10-15 objects. Object is not a small thing, guys, and don't try to create an object while declaring the variables. Try to go with a literal syntax to create the numbers or anything. Here let me print these guys here. So we have a variable, or else you can take some variable var n equal to something. So if we can print it, and let me print both guys here. This is a floating point number, this is a number with object. Console.log of x. Just I am printing this value. Please check it, what is the output here. Just run the file, so we will understand what exactly the output is here. Check in the console here. If we can check in the console, so I'm not getting output. Please let me check it. What is the problem here? I saved the file number.html. Anything wrong? Script tag open, script tag close, body style, and everything is okay, but title tag missed to close, guys. That's why we are not seeing the output here, right? Anyhow, refresh it. Now you can check it carefully, and we are getting number object of 1 2 3. This is the value, and moreover we have one more value there, right? Console.log of you can write something called n. So this is a number. It will be simply printed as a number. You can check it. Now you can see 100 and 123. So let me compare one thing here. This is 1 2 3. Okay, this is also 1 2 3, and this is x is also 1 2 3. Now I just want to compare both values are equal or not. To do this, let me write a small comparison operator here. So n equal to I'm using triple equal to. So what triple equal to will do, we know. So it will compare the values and its respective type, right? So let me write this console.log. If both are matched, it has to return true. Let us see if they are matched. So I mean, what I am saying here, we can create a number by using literal syntax, by using constructor way. So I created two variables with the same values. So object holds 123 as well as the variable n holds 123. Let me confirm, and let us see. It is giving something called false because the data type is different. Now if we can just compare the values here, n equal to x. Now you can just refresh it. I think so it is going to be true now. The value which is having the variable n and x are same, but data type is different. When we are going for triple equal to, what is the meaning of triple equal to? It will compare data type, it will compare its values and data type. So in this situation, what happened? Number, this is just a number, but the type of it is going to be a number. So if you want to confirm what type of the variable it is and all, we can write type of keyword. Just we will understand what type of variable the x is here. Just you can use type of keyword x, so that we will understand exactly what type of it is and what type of the n variable also. Now can you see it is going to be an object, and here you can write one more thing, type of n also. Just I want to write type of n, so we will understand what exactly the type of it, guys, here. Right, can you see this is a number and this is a object, because we are using constructor, right? If we are using constructor, that is going to return an object with a number of type, right? So this is what the exact way of declaring numbers, guys. You can use anyone, but recommended way is this is the way of declaring numbers in JavaScript, even though there is a floating point number also. For example, let me go with one more variable where f equal to 10.5 or 10.6. Now you can check the type of, definitely it is also going to be a number. I'm just printing this f. Finally I want to conclude, in JavaScript you want to define a decimal number, without a decimal number, whatever it may be, everything will be treated as a number. That is a number object, number data type, right? So in number object we have some predefined properties and predefined methods to work with the numerical values. So how to convert a string into a number, or number to a string, and some of the methods are there, how to get the precision, how to get the to fixed value, and how to get the maximum integer value, min value, which we can store in an integer, right? Let us see all the properties and methods one by one. First let's discuss about the properties. Can you see these are the properties, guys? Number dot max value, and they have to be in capital letters. Number dot min value, and max safe integer, and max min safe integer, and all. The maximum value, guys, here these are all the things, the maximum values which can save on a integer variable. The max value, min value, as well as max safe integer and min safe integer, 2 to the power of 53 minus 1 and minus 2 to the power of 53 minus 1. Min value, the range of an integer. So this is what exactly, guys, here the largest positive representable number, and min value means the smallest positive representable number, that is the positive number which is closest to something called 0, guys, right? Let us see what is the maximum value, what is the min value which we can hold in a number, as well as the max safe integer and max min safe integer also we will see, guys. Let us see the same here. Right now I'm just going to write in the console. So we no need to create an object for this, guys, just we can use the number object directly. So number dot min underscore value, this is the predefined, and we have to use as it is capital letters. JavaScript is case sensitive. In what way they defined, in the same manner we have to use it. So now let us run the same, and if we can run the same, you can check the output here. Yeah, can you see this is the lowest value, minimum integer value. It is, if we can calculate this, the value is going to be nearly 0. Nearly 0 value. If we can calculate this value, 5 exponential of 3 to 4, some value it is giving. This is the min value which can store in a number. So now you can go with the max value also. If you can write max value, we will get the maximum value that we can store into a number. Can you see now? And if you can refresh, this is the min value and this is the max value. Some exponential number is coming, guys. That is the maximum value. In the same manner, we have min safe integer. Let me write this is min safe integer, and max safe integer also. SAFE, safe, INTEGR. So let us write it first. So is it working or not? So yeah, it is working. In the same manner, let us write the max safe integer also. This is going to be max safe integer. Yeah, so what is the it will come around, guys. Maybe if you can consider this as an integer, this you can consider it as a big int. So nothing but, so the maximum value that we can store, the maximum safest value we can store in this integer value is going to be like this. This is the value. Can you see 90, and this is negative value and positive value. Generally in other programming languages also we can check, we have some integer types, teeny int, small int, integer, big int, such a kind of types are there, and every data type have some range. So what is the value we can store into that particular data type. So in this way we have the same in our JavaScript also, guys, here. So max safe integer, min safe integer, it is returning some values. The maximum value that we can store into a number. That is the meaning of these 4 constants we have here, guys. And let us see, some of the methods are also there, and by using those methods we can convert a string to number, or a number to string, or get to precision and all also. Let us see those also here. Here we have the some number object methods guys. Here isNaN, by using this method we can check whether the entered value is a number or not. IsNaN is not a number, then it is going to return true. If it is a number, it is not going to return, it is going to return false guys. Is finite, the number is finite number or not. Is integer, the number is integer or not. Is safe integer, I mean whatever the value you entered, is that value is available within the given range or not. That is what exactly the method duty guys here, right? The next thing is here we have parseInt and parse float method, where we can use these methods mostly in real time. So to convert a value which we are entering in an input box or somewhere, so whatever the value you entered into JavaScript, that is going to be a string. So we have to convert that string into an integer, a float. So to convert them, we can use parseInt and parse float. Two fixed and two precision and two string. Two string converts a number into a string. I mean here we have, if you can for example I have a text box. I have two text boxes. In these text boxes I will enter number 1 and number 2. I want to click a submit button to add these numbers. When you are reading data from a input box, that data will come as a string. Even though you can enter a number, that will become as a string. If it is a string, definitely we have to convert into a number. To do this, we can use either parseInt or parse float or a number object also. So by using number object also, we can convert it. Nothing but it is going to be a simply said typecasting. So how can we convert of one data type to another data type? So in separate session I will discuss typecasting guys. Seriously, there we can see how to convert a number into integer, integer to number, or array to object, object to array, array to string, object to string. These are all we are going to discuss in an upcoming session guys. Definitely I will prepare a video regarding the typecasting in JavaScript. Now let us discuss these methods one by one guys. Let us go and discuss these methods. Yes, so now I want to take a variable here. So where x equal to 200, let me check it is a number or not. So simply in the console log, just I want to check whether it is a number or not. So we have number object number number dot isNaN. So I'm writing simply isNaN, or else directly we can write isNaN. I think so. You can write x here. Simply let us see what is the output we are going to get it here. So run the file and refresh it. You are going to get something called false. So is not a number. For example, is not a number means let me pass. See, the question is here, is not a number. So is 200 is not a number? No, right? It's a number, right? So now let me use this something called hello. Now you can check it. X is something like x is hello. Right now question is here, is hello is not a number? Definitely it is not a number. It is a string, right? It has to return. Oh, it is giving false. Let me check it. I think here we no need to provide number object. I'm thinking just you can access the method directly. isNaN, I'm writing now, you can check it. So it's not a number, that's why you're getting something called true. And let me go with some value called 200 here. Now you can check it. 200 is not a number. No, it's a number. So we can get the value false. So this is going to be false. Directly we can write the method guys directly on the variable. We can take one variable. On that variable just we can apply isNaN or not. Is not a number. If it is not a number, do something. If it is a number, do something. Such a manner. So we can check whether the input you entered is a number or not by using isNaN method. Right. So let us see the next method here. Next method is here is finite method. Let us check the same also here. So console.log is finite, is finite, is finite number or not. What is a finite number? Just wait and see, you will understand exactly. Definitely I think so it is going to be true, because 100 is a finite number. Now you are getting something called true. Okay, let me write this as by 200, something like this. 100 by 200, I'm writing something like, can you see this is a finite number? Okay, we are getting find properly. Now can you see I'm just going to write something called 0 by 0. 0 by 0 is a finite number. So you can check it, it may return something called false. I think so it is not divide, right? So or else you can check a big number with small number also. For example, you can take 1 by 0 or whatever it may be, you can take. So 1 by 0, is it correct? No, it is not correct guys. That's why you are getting something. Or else you can take something called 10 by 5. If you can take 10 by 5, so it is going to give you a valid value. So this is going to be a finite number. Actually 1 by 0 I written. Is it possible? 1 by 0, right? So divisible by 0, is it possible? So that's why it is an infinite, it is not a finite number. So it will check whether the number is finite or not in this manner guys, right? In the same manner, we have one more method called isInteger. So whatever the value you entered, so it will check whether it is integer or not. Let us go to the same console.log. So isInteger, integer. So let us write x is integer or not. Just if it is an integer, it is going to return true, guys. Now you can check. I am getting some error. So let me check, is there any spell mistake into it. What's the method? Is integer. So it is correct, I believe, or else I need to append number object. Number dot is integer. 1 minute, check it please. Oh, we have to append this number object for this. For some of the methods we don't want to append number object. For some methods we have to append number object, guys, here. So now I written number dot is fine, is integer. Let me remove this. It has to work or not. Check it, control F5. So it is not working, guys. Anyhow, we have to append the number object. You can check it now. Is integer, is it working? Yes, it is an integer. And change the value of this x is going to be, I'm taking something called 200 in a double quotes. Can you see? Now this is going to be a string. It is not a number, because if you can keep anything in single quote or double quote, that is going to be a string. And I'm using the method. What is the method? Is integer. So what this is integer method will do, it will check whether the given value is an integer or not. Right, this is the method exactly we have. In the same manner, we know that this is the string value. So if I keep it into double quote or single quote, there is going to be a number. So let me convert that number into an integer. For example, I am taking one more variable where y equal to 200 or 300, such a manner, right? So now you can see this is what 300. Now I want to sum these two numbers. Can you see if I write this console.log $x plus y, just I am writing it. So what is the output we are expecting? Generally people will expect an output called 500, but here I will get an output 200 and 300. It is going to be concatenated here. So because this is not going to be sum, guys, because these two are going to be strings. If you are summing two strings, definitely they are going to be concatenated in our JavaScript. Here plus is used as a concatenation operator. So in JavaScript, if you want to concatenate a string and a variable, definitely we can use plus operator here. So in this situation, I want to convert this into a number. So to do this, guys, we have a method here. The method is nothing but parseInt is a method, or parseFloat. You can use any one of the method. So to do this job, so you can go with the same PARSE parseInt. You can write the method parseInt in this I capital. Now you can check the same whether it is working or not. So now let me refresh it. Earlier we tried, we didn't got the output. We got an output, different output. This is the output we got. So this is let me do one thing. Before applying, after applying. So this is x plus y. I'm not applying anything here in this situation. So below situation I'm converting it. Now you can check it. So the output of both, guys, this is the output we expected, and what happened there, here, that is the value we are having something, guys. Exactly, they are be concatenated. They are going to be concatenated. So to convert this, actually this is a string value. So to convert this, we have parseInt. Either you can use parseFloat also. Can you check it here? I'm going to use the parseFloat also. For example, if you have any floating point values inside of it, that is going to be converted, guys, right? So float parseFloat. Now can you see, you can get the same output in the same, but here it is concatenated. Actually I didn't apply conversion here. I applied conversion in both situation. For example, if you have some decimal values 1, 2, and here also, now you can observe this carefully. In this we cannot get the decimal values, but definitely here we will get the decimal values. Here is our output is 500, but here is everything is going to be concatenated in this situation, right? But in this situation, decimals are also going to be added. ParseFloat now. So now you can refresh it carefully. Now you can check it. This is the output. But what happened in this situation? They are all concatenated. So parseInt does not calculate the decimal values, but parseFloat will calculate the decimal values as well. So not only this, we can use number object also to convert this. Let me show you how can we do the same by using number object. So in place of it, if we can pass a number just by using this number object also, we can typecast it. So we have three ways here to do the same here. Number of x plus number of y. Then what is going to happen? Number of x is 200, number of y is 300, but they are strings. Because of you passing the value to number object, those, so they are going to be converted into numbers guys. Now you can see the output will be something like this. I mean, so we have three possible ways here: pairs int, pairs float, as well as number object also. By using these three methods, actually this is a number constructor. So this is what exactly these are the methods we have. Pairs int and pairs float are the methods of number object, or you can use number constructor also directly. Whatever the value you collected from your form, so on submit the form, collect the values. If they are numbers, definitely you have to check it. If you want to confirm whether this is a number or not, we have methods is integer or is nan. So we can use any one of the method whether the particular value you have inputted is a number or not. If it is a number, do the manipulation. If it is not a number, and convert it. If it is not a number, definitely we have to convert it. To convert, we have these many ways guys: pairs int, pairs float, and number as a constructor. So by using all these ways, we can manipulate the operations guys, right? So let me create a small form. So this form will take you two numbers. Once you submit the form, so you will get the values and try to sum them. Definitely they are going to be concatenated guys, so we have to convert them into integers. Let us see a small program. So meanwhile, let me type this quickly. Let me pause this screen for a while guys. Meanwhile, I created a small form guys here. Please check the form. So here we have two text boxes. One is number1 and one more is number2. So with an ID num1 and num2. So once you submit this button, I want to collect these two values and I want to sum them. Okay, apart from validation, no need to worry. Just get the values and just try to sum them, and let us see what is exactly the output is. Let me run this file. If we can run this, yeah, can you see this is what exactly I'm entering? Two values here now, 100 and 200. On submit this, we need to collect those values and we need to sum them by using JavaScript. So if you want, you can fire an event here on submit equal to one of the event. Later we will discuss events very clearly, but I'm writing on submit event here. So calculate, calculate is a method. It's not predefined, you can take any method here, right? So just fire this function on submit the form. Once the form is submitted, this function is going to be called guys. So this form is having some action, it is going to refresh it, I think. So let me stop the form submission. So event dot prevent default. I will discuss about all these methods later in the sessions, don't worry. Right now I don't want to refresh my page. I want to stop that because once you submitted the button, the form is going to get reloaded to the same page. We didn't provide any action, then form is going to reload it to the same page. But I want to stop that default behavior. That's why I written event.prevent default. By writing this method, the form is not going to get reloaded, so it is going to stop that action. So let me get the values guys, where num1 equal to, in JavaScript we can get the numbers like this. Document dot get element by id, element by id. So what is the id of it? Num1 dot value, num1 dot value, I mean the text box value, we can get it. This is how we can read the text box value by using the id. So this is going to be a num2, and let me change the variable also num2. You can take any variables here, right? I want to sum them guys. Can you see if I sum them, what is my output here? Or else you can take some alert also, whatever it may be, alert num1 or console.log also you can write it, no problem. You can write console.log, just you can write this as a num1 plus num2. Can you see what is the output here? Now these are going to be concatenated because whatever the value you are entering in the input field, that is going to be a string. Let us go with 100 and 200. Now you can submit it. That is going to be concatenated 100 and 200. Whatever the value you are inputting in a text box, that is going to be a string. If it is a string, definitely we have to convert into a number. Definitely to convert this into a number, we can use pairs int or pairs float, or number object also we can use. Number object I'm using. So to this number object, just pass a number, that is going to be whatever it may be, that is going to be converted into a number guys. If we can pass anything to it. Now if we can refresh it, earlier we seen that output, now you can check it, enter the same values. Now I'm submitting it. Right now, can you see this is what exactly the output is guys? Nothing but now the numbers, whatever the numbers you entered in the form, they converted into number. Actually you entered two values. By default they are strings. If you can enter any value in an input field, once on submit, we collected and we summed them, but we got it as a concatenated output. Now we converted them by using number object. If you don't want number object, you can use pairs int, either pairs float also, Whatever you are flexible, you can use the same method, guys. Okay, and let us discuss the remaining methods we have. So we have some two fixed method, two string method, as well as two precision methods also there. Let me discuss those methods as well. Now let us check this, guys. Here, so we have, I want to apply here two fixed method here. So what the two fixed method will do here, two fixed method returns a string with a number written with a specified number of decimals. It is going to return a string with a specified number of decimals. Can you see here, I have, after decimals I have three numbers here. So let me write two fix of 0. So console.log, just I have a method, guys. Here the number dot, directly you can write something called two fixed, also we can write fixed. Two fixed is a method. I am just giving you 0. Now it is going to rounds the value. For example, if it is a 9.5, right, it is going to rounds the value 10. Can you see here, the my output is going to be 10. I think it is going to give the rounded value. So can you see here, you will get the value, rounded value. For example, if I give 2 here, then what is going to happen, after dot decimals, this is the value, right? This is going to be rounded, so that is going to be now 6, I think so. Somewhere it will, you can check it, this is going to be rounded as a 9.57. Can you see, this is actually, we have 6 actually, that was rounded as a 9.57. I mean, one value is going to be rounded, guys. If you can give 0, this is going to be 10, because you given 2, right? So then if you can give 2, if I give 3, then what is my output? 9.568 it will be. This is what 2 fixed, it is going to round the value here, and you can refresh it, it is going to be 9.567. so earlier we have 9.567 rounded value. We don't have any number, right? Let me take something called 45, I think so. Now you can see 75 you will get, I think this is what exactly 3 I'm getting. You can take something called 4 here. If we can see 4, what is the output exactly? We are getting the same. Actually you have to get some different output, but I am getting a different value here. So this is the value I have. If I take 4 here, I need to see something called, okay, this is fine, let me use this as a 6. Then I have to get the zeros at the end of it actually. 56740000. Now, oh, you are getting this, guys, I think so. What is the problem what I tried earlier? Okay, 2 fixed here. Let me go with the only 2 digits here. Now I am giving this. Now you will get the, after decimal you will get something 60, something like this. Let me give something called 4 here, then 2 numbers plus 2 zeros it will come after the decimal point. Now you can check it. So we are getting same manner. So if you can get 2, now you can get 9.56 only. Can you see, 9.56 you are getting. If you can take 0, it will be 10, guys. It is going to be rounded the value, something like this, right? So this is what exactly the two fixed method, what it is doing, it is returning a specified number with a specified number of decimals. Actually it is returning a specified number of decimals. What is the decimals you provided? So even though decimals are not there, after the decimal point we have two digits only, 5 6. So if we can give more, then it is going to add zeros in place of them. For example, if I take 4, then what it is doing, 2 plus, and this already 2 digits are there and 2 are not there, it is going to be adding 0 in place of it, guys. In the same manner, I have two precision. What this two precision method will do, two precision method returns a string with a number of written with a specified returns with a number written with a specified number of length. What is the length we can, I think so, based on that length it is going to return. But here, so if it is 2 fixed means it is giving 4. For example, if it is a 2 precision, PRECISION, I think 2 precision of just I want to take 2. If we can take 2, now can you see precision and fixed, this is exactly the fixed value, this is exactly we are getting 2 only. So you can take some number, big number here, 9.48, something like this. Now you can take 4 here, exactly 4 digits you will get from here, totally 4 you will get something like this. Can you see, 9.56, something like this is what you are getting, 9 point after decimal point, 9.565 you are getting. So if we can take 5 here, you will get that number also, right? So this is what exactly. So earlier that is adding, but this is what is this is doing here, So to fixed is adding some leading zeros after the decimals, but it is getting the same, but with we have to mention the length. If you can mention the length, from here you will get the things, guys. This is what to precision and to fixed. Right, guys, these are all the methods we have in number object, right? To manipulate the numbers, to convert a number into a string, to convert a number into a string to number. I mean, whatever the value you are inputting in a text box, that is going to be a number, sorry, that is going to be a string that we are converting into a number by using pairs in pairs close method. And we have some constants also we have seen in this session. Right, guys, in the next session we are going to discuss about math object. Let us see, guys. Thank you, guys. If you have any doubts, please comment under the video section. Thank you all.